This is the Washington Times front page for Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. An appeals court has ruled that the federal government can't use race and sex as factors when distributing coronavirus relief funds. Legal affairs reporter Alex Swoyer reports in a 2-1 ruling, a 3-judge panel of the 6th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said the Small Business Administration was violating the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause by giving priority to minority and female-owned restaurants seeking coronavirus relief funds. Court documents pointed to the congressional testimony of one expert who said 32% of Hispanic and 41% of Black-owned businesses had failed during the pandemic, compared with 22% of white-owned businesses. But the court said the broad statistical disparities cited by the government are not nearly enough, and that the government must be informed by data that suggests intentional discrimination. In Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's long political reign looks like it's finally nearing its end. A diverse coalition of parties have reached a deal to oust Netanyahu and form a new governing coalition after 12 years of his rule. Centrist opposition leader Yair Lapid and his main coalition partner, ultranationalist and former Netanyahu ally Naftali Bennett, announced an agreement just moments before a deadline, sparing the Israeli electorate their 5th election in just 2 years. Under the deal, Lapid and Bennett will split the job of prime minister. Bennett will serve the first 2 years, and Lapid the final 2 years. In national news, Harris Alec looks at President Biden's goal of transitioning the U.S. from gasoline-powered vehicles to electric vehicles. The plan comes with challenges, including the current higher price of EVs for consumers and the logistics of charging networks. Car and Driver magazine reported last year the base price of a compact gasoline-powered car was significantly lower than its electric counterpart. More problematic is the lower driving range for electric vehicles, which has yet to match the distance achievable for combustion engine vehicles on one full tank. The White House wants its infrastructure package to include at least $174 billion for electric vehicles. At least $40 billion of that would be used to install 500,000 charging stations across the country. A reminder that you can find all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. Don't have access to the Times yet? Visit WashingtonTimes.com/George and get 25% off your annual subscription. On immigration, Stephen Dinan talks with Wisconsin Congressman Tom Tiffany, who recently returned from a trip to Central America. Tiffany visited the Darien Gap, a wilderness spanning the border between Panama and Central America. He said he heard unfathomable stories of desire, hardship, and death among migrants who are trying to make their way north. Tiffany said he supports efforts to enhance opportunities in Central America for migrants to stay, as well as helping countries like Panama better secure their own borders. And finally, federal officials are reviewing the restrictions and scientific developments of blending human and animal cells as Congress debates a bill to spend nearly $200 billion on research and development endeavors. Brian Lovelace reports the Salk Institute for Biological Studies in California participated with a Chinese-led research team that injected human stem cells into monkey embryos. They allowed the resulting creature to live and grow for 19 days before terminating it. Federal officials have placed a moratorium on funding of such research, and Indiana Republican Senator Mike Braun said he's worried such experiments will cross ethical boundaries. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and subscribe for free to the front page. Just search Washington Times on your favorite podcast platforms. You can also listen to the front page on Amazon Alexa connected devices. Just say, "Alexa, play the front page podcast." And you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.